Yo, one people. Um, it's mad, isn't it? Fucking depressing, bro. I've just been thinking, like, just trying to be as objective about everything as possible, innit? Uncle Jimmy takes, them ones, like, man's, I'm always on a, not positive, not always positive, but I'm always trying to see, the direction of things, see why things go wrong and stuff, and just trying to understand the reasoning behind certain problems that we've got at the club. But you know what? I was just thinking, obviously the football's going wrong. The manager's going to have to take a lot of blame for this. Unfortunately, he's got the blame. He's got the blame a few times this season where I thought it was unjustified. But I think when I look at the last few matches, I think there's a lot of tactical issues there in the sense of. I think the main one is players playing in the wrong position. So we all know that. That's just how it's. It is what it is. And I think the manager's going to have to be careful. He's going to get himself the sack. So he's going to have to be super, super vigilant. And he's going to have to be super creative in how he puts the team out over the next few weeks. We're lucky because we got quote unquote easy run of games, which is not, but evidently not always been the case. When we thought a game's going to be easy, it's not been easy for just how we operate as a club at the moment. But my biggest point I'm trying to make is I think the Glazers deciding to not sell the club situation doesn't help matters. And I know that there's obviously words back and forth to say no, they are selling the club. They just the some of the rumors are not true or whatever. I think we're seeing enough reports to suggest that these guys were probably using the fake sale as a ploy for some other plans that they've got. It's fucking weird as fuck. I think the Glazers staying at the club means that the issues that we've got are going to continue. And I'm not saying that the players and the manager are not to blame for this, but I'm saying the mood within the club is not going to get better as long as the Glazers are there. I think it's the most important thing that can happen to our club right now is the Glazers selling the club. I think they need to sell the fucking club. If they don't sell the club and they do decide to stay, that's a big problem. That's gonna be a massive, massive problem. And I think it doesn't matter what we do. It's filtering down into the dressing room, and I feel like the uncertainty around the ownership of the club has affected the way that we've gone about the football. And for me, whilst we blame the managers and the players and the coaching staff, I think the Glazers out protests need to carry on if this club is going to go anywhere. I think that those protests are really important if we're going to take our club back and ensure that the whoever owns the club actually cares about the club. Because some of the moves that have been sanctioned or not sanctioned in terms of playing staff, some of the transfers that we've been linked with, that we know for a fact that clubs have approached certain players and we've not been able to get them at the club. I think if you look at what it really should have been in the transfer window, is not really what it's turned out to be. And I'm not saying Ten Hag hasn't picked these players that have come to the club, but I think there's a big element of making do with what we've got because it's so uncertain in terms of what's going to happen to the ownership of the club. So whilst we blame the managers, blame the players, they deserve to get that blame. But let's not stop the Glazers out protests. I think we should carry on. We should still hashtag, we should still tweet, we should stop buying shirts, we should do everything we can do. And I know that people say that they're not buying shirts doesn't really hurt them that much, but I think everyone should be doing whatever they can to promote this message of getting the Glazers out of the club. I've seen an interview with Laurie, can't remember if it was Laurie Whitwell. I think it was Laurie Whitwell. But he said, he was talking about the fact that the Glazers being at the club is starting to create this divide between the fan base. And I think that division is filtering onto the pitch. So we need them to go, because I think as long as they're at the club, nothing's going to change. We're going to have manager after manager, player after player, the turnaround is going to be ridiculous, and I think it's not going to improve a fucking thing. So we need to keep hashtagging, keep tweeting, keep, you know, encouraging journalists that you've got relationships with to get this message out as much as possible. We need these fuckers gone. Nothing's going to change as long as they're at that club. That's how I see it. I'm in the office. I just depressed fucking joke of a fucking club. But let's keep going, man. Have a good day, everyone. Uncle Jimmy Takes, Monday afternoon. Big up.